Hello everyone, this is Awkward Audrey. Welcome to my art hour. Ah! It's been it's been a busy month because I have moved to Colorado from Washington State. Um, and I so far am loving Colorado, but the Pacific Northwest is still awesome. Like my heart's still there with the ocean and the people and the weird eclectic communities that live there. But I have a feeling we're going to find some weird eclectic communities here too. So I'm excited for this new life um, that I that I have set before me. Like I've moved around a bit, and despite some hiccups and delays, I think this was probably one of the smoothest transitions I've experienced from moving. So thank you and to you and for everyone who supported me and Sam during this time. That means a lot to me and to him. Just to be able to have these opportunities uh, and to really be in a good place, right? It doesn't happen too often, and this feels like a good place to be in life right now. What today's art hour is going to be, I will be doing rock painting, and I will be painting two rocks. One is going to be completely covered in kind of abstract paintings, textures, I guess would be more accurate. And I'm going to paint the word believe on it. And words are kind of difficult, so I feel like this is going to get into the more abstract and kind of technical part for that. And then the second rock I'm going to paint will mostly be natural, with a butterfly sitting on top of it. So hopefully, when I'm done with it, I hope that it looks like a butterfly sitting atop a rock. Um, I've never done that before, so I'm excited to try out this butterfly. All right, let's get started. Dun, 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 dun. Oh, switching cameras. Okay, bear with me here. This is a new setup. My old setup does not exist anymore, as it were. Not in the way that we're used to seeing. All right, so here we go with our supplies that we'll be working with today. We will be working with some acrylic paints, some brushes. I've got these new brushes ordered from Amazon. I have this stamper that you put paint on the, let me show you. You put paint on this side, squishy, and then you can see on this side where you're placing it and how you want to place it. So I don't know how well this is going to work. Usually use this for nail art. We'll see if this works for rock art. Then obviously I have my two rocks, and I wanted a slightly big rock so I could paint the whole word believe on it without having to get too tiny. The tinier you get, the more mistakes will stand out, so having a bigger rock helps. And mostly I also just like awkwardly shaped rocks. Like even if I decided today not to paint what I have already decided, like, hey, you know what, I'm not really feeling it. You could do a lot with this rock. Like it looks kind of like a dog. See, like there's the snout, there's the ears, there's the eye. You could see that, or it could be a snake, or it could be a lot of things. Like, see, there's the head. It would wrap around. So there's a lot of things you can do with weirdly shaped rocks. You don't always need smooth rocks. But smooth rocks do help, and I decided that for this one I wanted a smooth rock for the butterfly, and I decided, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have this be where the butterfly is, where it's slightly raised, so that when you kind of hold it from different angles, it looks like a butterfly really is sitting there. We'll see how it goes. I may or may not like that idea as I move on, but I think that's what I'm going to do. And then these are here just in case I want to test some of my paints out, right? Like, so sometimes you go to paint things and you want to kind of test out the color or test out the technique before you go and actually put it onto your rock or your canvas or whatever. So having little pieces of paper, note cards, or whatever nearby is nice too, for that reason. Let's see. Now, let's see. Am I missing anything? I feel like I'm missing something. No, probably good. Well, let's open up these babies. I have never used these bottles. These are new bottles that I got off of Amazon, so we'll see how it goes. I got this really tiny knife not available. It's just perfect for opening these. I tried opening these with my teeth before the video, and it wasn't working. But the tiny knife works perfectly. Oh, that did not work. Let's try one more time. One more time. And not accidentally cut my hand. Ta-da! All right. There you go. So the colors that I'll be working with today will be a variety from different companies. So I like these ones from Amsterdam in these nice little, like, what, 2 ounce? Oh, not even. 0.7 fluid ounce paints, titanium white, and which one is this? This is blue violet. This is blue violet. And right here I wanted to try metallic gold for the word believe, and maybe some of the detailing that I put on that rock, and bright pink. Bright magenta. Called bright magenta. Okay. Oops. Really sturdy work table. All right. Here we go. I need a sturdier setup. This will work. Now that just so you know, the camera is a little bit high, so I won't be able to see your comments until I stand up to look. So let us get the background started on this puppy. I was thinking, let's do some pink. Just put these rocks way up here. Some white. And a little dab of purple for this first layer. And I have a feeling nobody's on right now. Feeling that because of the time difference, people might not be showing up at the time that I was expecting them to. That's fine. Our hour goes on for a little while, so you can pretty much show up anytime, and I will be here. Okay, so what I'm going to do for this rock is I'm going to take this, a little bit of pink, white, and just a tad bit of purple, like that. I'm going to smoosh it around. Let's see what that looks like here on this. See. I feel like that's maybe a little bit too much pink. All right, there you go. Test number 1. So maybe not equal parts pink, but we'll do a little bit of pink, a little bit of, no, too much pink, and and some white, and then some a little bit more purple, and we'll go to town. Okay, running out of paint, so we'll do, but I'm liking this effect so far. It kind of looks like a garden. Okay, more white, and ooh, yeah, there we go. That's looking pretty good. I'm liking this. This is already messy though, because I'm doing the full rock. Doing this without getting paint on my hands is pretty much impossible. Okay. Okay. So far, so good. Ta-da. Oh, paper towels. You need paper towels. Back at it again, I see. Hey! Hi, Shannon. Hi, Kathy. Thank you for joining. Just a second. I'm going to get some paper towels. I'll be right back. Oh, thank you for the mug. Yeah, this is a pretty cute mug, and I really like raccoons, so this would be perfect for dipping my paints in today. Just gonna wipe this off so it doesn't dry. Wow, that came out. Just gonna wipe this off so it doesn't completely dry on the smoosh. There we go. Set that aside. Thanks. Yep, that's why I decided these colors. I'm like, we're just gonna go all in with the theme here. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is I wasn't sure, but I have a couple of ideas, and I think now in order for me to get these ideas to fruition, I'm gonna have to wait and have this dry. So we're just gonna sit and let that dry for a minute. Alright, so while it's drying, I figured we could kind of talk a little bit about, hi Mom, about what the theme is today and why I decided to go with that theme. Just a second. Okay. So like why am I deciding to do two rocks, and one with the word believe and one with a butterfly on it? And so I woke up with this morning with no real idea of what I wanted to paint. There were some notions, right, of like it could be a cute animal, like a dog or a bunny. And I thought about that. I thought about doing like a flower or some simple ones, but nothing really stuck. Didn't really feel right, So then I thought, well, what do you want to really talk about here? I have all this free time now. I couldn't really think about these things. And I thought, oh, let's talk about that. Because this is a time of transition, right? This is a time where I have a lot of time to think, or this is a place where I have a lot of time to think about things. And the word belief really stuck out at me. And I got to contemplate a little bit about that. So, while we're drying, let's just talk. I'm just going to talk a little bit about some of the thoughts I had. And after some contemplation, I was thinking, like, well, I have, at least I think, and this is probably true for other people, that there are two sets of beliefs, right? That there is the day-to-day beliefs that we have, and this is how the world works. This is how you go to work, you interact with people in a certain way, you meet your needs by doing A, B, and C, and then hopefully at the end of the day you're happy, healthy, and have a meaningful place in the world, right? That's what, like, those day-to-day beliefs, right? That you are going to encounter these scenarios and this is how you should handle them. And then I was thinking, I was like, okay, well, that's true, but then there are some more foundational truths that define what we believe. And these are the truths that we lean on in times of uncertainty. And that's where I'm kind of at right now. I'm in a unique and privileged place to define these beliefs, like what motivates me daily. And like, there's literally nothing, I literally have nothing that needs to happen. I need to feed myself and make sure that I don't leave a complete mess. And that's it. So, this is a good time for me to find out what really motivates me, and how do I want to solidify those foundational beliefs that we all lean on in uncertain times. So, like, there is literally nothing to distract me from these tasks unless I choose to be distracted. And let me tell you, Facebook's really good for that, right? Like, I have no job that I need to do, no people I need to entertain, like with propriety and with professionalism. There's no responsibilities I have to kids or sick relatives or things of that nature, and I have enough resources to meet my basic needs. So thought this is a really good time for me to really think about what is it that I really believe, and what are those foundational truths, and what motivates me on the regular. So that's where I am right now, and that's kind of just where I wanted to go, and with this art hour, ultimately, is what I decided. So while it sounds corny, like if you had told me like a few weeks ago, oh, you're going to be painting the word believe on a rock, like that seems so cheesy, but it's really about like why you painted it the time you painted it, and why it can affect people so much. Like, there's a reason it's a cliche. It's because it can affect people. Like, these words on really mean something to people at different times in their lives, and I thought this would work really well for me. Would be to have this word believe and a butterfly to kind of signify this transition time in my life. So yeah, that's what I got going on. And that's why I decided to paint what I decided to paint today. It's crazy. You have some time to do some contemplation. You come up with something a little bit meaningful. Ha. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. Let's see how the rock is. It's a little goopy in some areas. So I think on that note, we're going to keep that rock. We're going to set it aside on this piece of paper, and we're going to get started on the butterfly rock. Let's see if I can do this without getting paint all over my hands, but that's not likely. I'm probably going to get paint everywhere. Oop. Oh. Ugh, the stand. I swear. Okay. I'm gonna put this here. paints while it dries. And let's get started on this rock. All right. So let's see. How do we want to do this? So I washed both of these rocks. They shouldn't have any dirt or anything on them. I just used dish soap. So I read that some rock artists just put a whole bunch in like their dishwasher and wash it that way and keep it like sanitized. And I think that's not a bad idea if you're going to be doing a whole bunch, especially if you're going to be doing it professionally. Let's see, since we're going to be doing a butterfly, we want to be able to do tiny details. So I think this brush, nope, this brush, this tiny brush will work. This slightly rounded flat tip, and maybe if I'm feeling motivated, I'll bring out my dotting tools, but I think these will be what I need for the most part. Okay, so let's get started. I think I'm going to just do a butterfly with these three colors, keep everything simple, and we'll get started with the base of a butterfly. Let's see. Since this part is raised up, oh, in Bellingham, people leave their painted rock somewhere out. I love these rock communities where they share their creations with people. I think it's such a great community to have. Like, some people are so talented and they leave the prettiest of rocks. I decided, I think, what I'm going to do, because I both am selfish and giving. That's who I am as a person. I like to be selfish and I like to be giving, is that I decided I'm going to paint two rocks, and one of them I'm going to keep, and one of them I'm actually going to replace, because I definitely stole these from the outside world. And I'm not saying that everybody's going to be stealing from my parking lot all these rocks, but I should probably put one back or buy my own rocks and not depend on my apartment complex to have all these rocks. All right, so I think what we're going to do, we're going to have, let's see. We're going to have, so in order to make this realistic, there's going to be some shadows, right, of the butterfly that will be on the rock. When I do that, I'm going to water down probably this purple, or maybe I'll go find the black and water down the black, and I'll do the shading. So I want that shading to be over here. So I think in order for me to do that, if you're going to be looking at a butterfly, you know, and its wings are kind of up, one of them, if you're looking at them at an angle, is going to be skinnier than the other, right? So imagine this is a butterfly, and where the shadow is going to be best defined by where the long one is. Yeah, I think. No, the short one. So I think having, let's see, the short one here, and then the big one here, and then there'll be a shadow on this side. I think that's what I'm going to do. So we'll just start with a basic dark paint, and then we'll paint colors on top of it once it's dried. And if any of you are smarter than me, you will definitely trace where you're going to paint before you paint it. I did not do that this time around, and I am just going to freehand it. So it might not look as uniform as it should, but I don't really care. That's fine by me. This is for fun. There we go. preschool at our church left painted rocks around our church garden for our congregation. A nice gift, yes. And sometimes, you know what, kids are just the best. Like you put this project in the hands of an adult, they might overthink it. But kids, I mean, maybe I overthought it as a kid. We'll have to ask mom about that. But I like seeing what kids make because they just literally paint what they're feeling in the moment. Okay. I feel like this bottom wing is a little bit too big. So I'm gonna paint or clean off my brush. Clean off my brush here. And then I'm going to take a wet brush. I'm going to try and pick up some of this and shorten this lower one here. There we go. I feel like that looks more natural. Instead of having a really big bottom set of wings, it'll be more even. Still bigger, but not so big. Okay, time for the next one. We will do, let's see, more purple, and it's a big one over here on the ridge of this rock, of this particular rock. Okay. Kind of see that and how it's taking shape. Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Because this is more three-dimensional, you kind of have to like I have to rotate this around, you know, so I can see what this actually looks like from all sides. It's different than rock painting is a little different from canvas painting in that way. Okay. There we go. All right, so that is done. Now, for the body. What? For the body, we're going to include a little pink too. It's going to be slightly fuzzy. It's going to be a slightly fuzzier. Butterfly. There we go. I'm not sure how I feel about this. Let's see. I feel like, you know what? Now that I'm seeing this, maybe I should make this a little bit, the skinnier wing a little bit longer. You know? It doesn't quite look like it has the right perspective, right? So maybe, yeah, I'm thinking I'll just kind of pull things this way a little bit on the left side here, and it will hopefully have the desired effect of you can really feel that wing coming out. on the world's squeakiest chair here. Okay. Let's see, how can I do that? I think, let's see, I'll do this a little bit. Get some water. And this is probably dried a little bit, so I don't know if this is gonna work like it did earlier. There we go. It's working. So the longer acrylic paint sits, the more difficult it is to fix. Note this is true especially with clothing. Like the sooner you get your like if you get paint on your clothes, the sooner you put water on it, cold water, and rinse it out, the more likely it is that it will not stick to your clothes. Because once it's stuck to your clothes and it dries and it sticks to your clothes, you are pretty much guaranteed to be with that paint for the rest of your life. There are techniques to getting acrylic paint out of your clothes, but it takes a little work and effort. Yeah. Okay. So I think if I can paint this bottom wing how I want, then the top, I can figure out how to paint this top wing how I want. So oops, still a little high, I think. Here we go. We need some more purple paint. Let's get some more blue violet. Okay, that feels pretty good, I think. Yeah. Yeah, I like that. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty good. Now to, let's see, I think I'm gonna take this butterfly body here and just make it a little longer. Because that's how butterflies do. So, all right, and we're going to, this is pretty much dry, but we're going to just let that sit for a second. How is everybody's day going so far? It was beautiful out here today. My husband went out for a hike with some friends and has some of the most beautiful pictures. Alright, so I think this brush is done. Time to go in with the little brush. Okay, and this looks like it's still drying. Yeah, it's still drying. So we'll just let that happen. I think now, let's see. Let's add some details to this. To this butterfly. Let's see. Get enough goop. No enough paint here on the tip of the brush, and you'll get cleaner dots that way. And cleaner shapes, I guess, is what I'm saying. Hey Liz! Thanks for joining. Actually, since we are doing some detailed work, I'm gonna move this down a little bit. See if we can get a little bit closer. Yep, this design for my camera setup is gonna have to change. That's okay. Work in progress. Let's see. Went to church with Lyra and Michael, then to lunch. I just finished cleaning both rentals. Yay! Sounds like a really busy day, Shannon. Like, kudos for you for getting all that taken care of. Oh, too much goop. Too much goop on this one. Since what? Yes, Kathy, get the rocks out. These are actually the paints that Mom got when we started rock painting together. And I do plan on doing more rock painting in the future. So like if you want to like do art hours where you're also painting along, that's awesome. I would love that. Let's see. Since watching you, I've become a lot more aware of how people set up their cameras, right? Like you can't unsee it now. uh, let's see. I have a coughing thing going on. Ooh, that's a good idea. Don't share the coughing thing with people at church. I'm sure they appreciate that. Like after this move, I was really worried I was going to get sick, but it's nice that I don't have to like I didn't have to immediately jump into work afterwards and risk that. Okay. Hey Dan, thanks for joining. Currently, right now, just painting some Painting a butterfly on a rock. Nothing too fancy. Decided to kind of ease into actual painting, like what I paint for this first one in Denver. Okay. Let's see. Now let's go like that. I think. This white's been out a little bit too long. It's starting to dry. That's okay. If need be, I'll just get some more white from the tube. The tube. All right. Not really feeling this one. I looked at a few butterfly designs. Oh, there we go. That looks like a butterfly wing. Before I did this, but I didn't look too hard. So this is one of those times when research is best. Done. All right. Gonna have to get the computer moved over to the clay table. Yes, indeed. And for those of you who don't know, Cindy Grindell has a very awesome clay table to work with. All right, so we're going to add some pink to this. And funnily enough, the pink is actually quite wet still. So maybe that's the difference between like this brand Apple Barrel and this brand Amsterdam. It's just how it's made. Let's see. What kind of paint? These are all different types of acrylic paint. But because they're from different brands, they may have different formulas for each of them. Also, this probably is a contributing factor. These are in smaller tubes than this one, so they are probably going to dry out quicker just in general. So like this is just probably a thinner acrylic paint. Not a thinner though. It does feel more liquidy, but not necessarily thinner, because if it was thinner, it might dry faster. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go back in with some purple here to fix some of these, but I'm, figuring this out as I go along, so I think you'll be fine. Okay. Okay. Which ones do I want to be pink? I don't know. Maybe that's what I want to do. Maybe I want to have these different cells of the wing be both pink and white, with the inner edge of the cell being pink and the outer edge being white. Oh yeah, that hits the spot. I like it. All right, so now that I've kind of figured out what I want to do, it's time to go back and fix this. Okay. All right. Let's see, where do I want to start? White paint, more white paint. Yeah, this is just generally thicker, the Amsterdam paint. Okay. Let's see. Here we go. Oh, that's not dry yet. Better wait on that one. Oh. Trash falling on me. Okay. I'm kind of blending this in with my finger. I'm sure there are better techniques. But this is where I'm at right now. And a little water, too. Okay. Blending, blending. Okay. Yeah, sorry guys. I really wish I could get my setup better. But that'd probably take a little bit longer than than I have time for. So next our hour, I will have a better setup and we'll be able to see the details more clearly and have a little closer, or at least be able to have a little closer view. It's nice to have a bigger view so you can see my whole workspace, stable as it is. Um, but yeah, I just couldn't really make that happen today. I was really was figuring things out as I went along. The ideas I had this morning were just not, I really was not feeling them, which is awful. I'd hate to have to commit to a painting that I wasn't sure I could really put the passion behind, you know? I mean, that is how it is sometimes, right? Like you are just like, I just need to get out there and I just need to, um, commit yourself, even if you have a terrible painting experience. But it's never fun, right? You never go in saying, yes, I love this terrible painting experience. Give me more. It is better to always have practice, though. Practice, practice. Bum, 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 bum. And at the end of the day, nothing needs to be perfect. A very hard lesson, I know, but nothing needs to be perfect. Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Do any of you have any current projects that you were working on? I mean, art is good, but if you have other projects going on, that's fine too. Like having a house is pretty much a project in and of itself, right? No, nobody has a project. Nobody's working on a project right now. I doubt that. I'm on to you guys. Liz and I got the lawn mowed last weekend. Yes, yes. 'Tis this season where the grass grows like crazy. Oh, excuse me. That was my grass allergy kicking up there. Just the mere thought of grass. Okay, now I have found that moving into my studio with other artists is inspiring. I also learn from them. Oh, nice. I can imagine just having a workspace dedicated to that kind of thing is really nice, especially when you have a group of people that you can just see, right? Okay, let's see. Okay. It's encouraging to take the step of faith. Yes. Yes. I think it's inspiring to see that. Like you're just like, I just want to do this. This is my passion. Let's make this passion project actually happen. Okay. I think, let's see, I'm going to leave this to dry right now. Once it's dry completely, I'm going to go back in with the blue violet and clean up some of these lines and call the butterfly part done. And then start working on shadowing on this rock. Okay. I'm going to set that aside right there. Now it's time for this guy. This guy is pretty much dry except for like this one goopy goop part. And I think that I'm just going to have to smush it. I'm going to have to smush it just so it'll dry. The rest of it is dry. The rest of this is dry. This part is not. Too much paint on it. There we go. So I have an idea for this. It's slightly crazy. But what I'm going to do for this one is I'm going to paint in gold the word believe. And then I'm going to actually do once that is dried, I'm going to do a all over painting wash on this. And so it's going to have like this undertone effect where everything's more subtle but hopefully more rich. That is the goal I'm going for. We'll see if that actually happens or not. Breaking out the gold. Oh yeah. And maybe for this one I should, let's see, I should pencil it out first. Let's see. So I'm going to go grab a pencil. I'll be right back in a minute. If you guys need a bathroom break, this is the time to do it. Okay. There we go. All right. Pencil bound. Okay. Now let's see. How do I want to place the letters on here? I do want it to be, maybe it's cliche, but I really like seeing the calligraphy done. And unfortunately, painting calligraphy is really hard, especially if the paint is thick. So I'm going to sketch it out first, and then hopefully I'll be able to do a little bit of the swoopy calligraphy with the word believe on here. Let's see. Make it big. Yep, make it bigger. Yeah. Okay. Don't know if you can see that. That's fine. I can see it. I'm the one painting. At the end of the day, if I can see it, then you will eventually see it. So you kind of have to curve a little bit, I guess. So I think I'm going to paint a little bit more over here. because I want it to be a little more center. And this is why you pencil it in first. All right, I think that will work just fine. Okay. Okay. I am nervous. I'm not gonna lie. This is nerve-wracking for me. All right, gold paint. This is where practicing on this, I think, will help. All right, so let's see how this works. I'm gonna practice. Yeah, that's pretty thick. That's thick. I wonder if I have a thinner brush. Do I have a thinner brush? Might have this one. Is this one a thinner brush? No. This is great. So this is what I have to work with. So let's see if I can get this technique down. Oh, that looks pretty good, I think. E's are really hard. Anything swoopy like E's, where you have to pretty much go like 360 degrees, is pretty hard because of how your hand must rotate to accommodate where the brush bristles are. Bee. Nope, we painted a butterfly today, not a bee. Okay. Ooh, I like that. Okay. This one, that one. I like those. L as always, very good. I is a miniature L with a dot. V can be pretty dramatic. All right, there we go. Just the B and the E are probably going to be the difficult ones because they have the most curves. All right, let's go for it. Oh, thanks, Kathy. What about writing with the other end of the brush, the tip of the handle? That's a good question, and I actually have tried this before. Out of necessity, one time when I didn't have, when I needed a much smaller brush for a much smaller detail, and it was very difficult to do this with the tip of the handle, because if you're going to be doing long strokes, you want to have like that extra paint that is in the brush, right? So like in between all these bristles is paint. So when you go to paint with the handle, literally once it's off the handle, you're gone. You don't have any backup. Whereas with the brush, if it's not on the outside, you can push a little bit and get whatever paint is still in between the bristles on the inside to come out. And so you can adjust accordingly, right? And so like here I have a glob of paint at the tip, right? And so I'm going to put it kind of heavy on the top, and then I'm going to lighten up as I go down. And so it's a little bit thicker at the top, but mostly even throughout the whole thing. And that's one of the things about calligraphy, right? Is that you can see where things get heavier and things get lighter. Okay. Now for the rest of the B. Oop. Yeah, that didn't quite happen like I wanted. We're gonna make this B a little taller. Okay. Now for this E business. I'll rotate the rock a little bit because there are no straight lines on this rock. B E L I. There we go. Oh, that looks a little thicker than I wanted. Okay, because the L ended up being a little thicker, I'm going to have to go through this E and make it also a little thicker so it looks more standard. What word am I thinking of? Uniform. That's what I'm thinking. Uniform. Okay. The gold is so rich looking. Thank you. It's hard to tell when to use metallic paints because sometimes you try to use a metallic paint and it ends up kind of ruining a whole bunch of details that you had planned because it's so vibrant. So when you get a good combination, both the colors and the metallic paint will stand out. Again, I'm not a professional though, so I hope if you are looking to paint that you go out there. There's a lot of good resources out in the universe and YouTube land that discuss these types of things. Believe. Oh, I love that E. That E came out so good. Oh. All right, we're not even though I'm compelled to touch it. Oh yeah, I'm gonna just try and make it a little bit thicker. I'm gonna try very delicately not to ruin what I just did though. There is such a thing as overdoing it. And you just gotta stop touching what you're working on and let it be. Okay. Believe. Okay. Whew. Oh. That's exhausting. I'm tired now. I'm ready for a nap. I'm almost done though. Okay. Sitting on the world's squeakiest chair. Okay. I'll let that sit over there. This we do not need anymore. And now back to the butterfly. Okay. Oh good, the purple's still wet. That's good. I'm going to put a little bit of water in it though to thin it out. I want some clean lines. And clean lines with water helps. When you mix water with paint, it does thin it out, but it does also help produce cleaner lines. All right, going in. Sorry, I'm not talking. I'm concentrating. Sometimes it's the details that get super dicey. Okay, what do I want to do here? Also, I'm going in and doing these details. I'm trying to make them look a little bit more symmetrical. It's like I'm cleaning up some of these lines, and by doing so, I hope that these wings will look more symmetrical. It's my beloved. Hello, Sam. Hi. You don't have to talk. We like watching work. Thank you, Kathy. What are you doing? What are you doing, Sam? Oh, ha ha. Sam's contributing. He's putting water on my hand. What a jerk.
That's helpful, isn't it?
Why? How is that helpful?
Oh, I'm sorry, I thought that would be helpful.
How?
Love you.
Love you too, Sam. Silly shenanigans, I tell ya. How am I? This does not look good. We're just gonna cover up these two. I'll redo them. Okay. There we go. Need to take off. We'll have to check later to see how the wash looks. Thanks, Shannon. I'm so glad that you were able to make it, and I hope that you have a really great Sunday. Okay. We'll let that be. That dry for a second. Okay. There we go. Ta-da! Okay. Okay. Set that aside. Let the purple dry, and then we'll go in and do the final touches. Okay. This one. Oof, okay. Ugh. You know, I'm not sure if there's enough contrast in this. Okay, purple, purple, purple. Go. Let's test it out. Kind of want it to be more like an ink than we do a acrylic paint. And I'm going to be doing a wash over this whole thing. So we want this brush, I think. This brush gonna be big enough? I'm not sure if this brush is gonna be big enough. I'll be right back to make sure that I have. Let's see if there's a bigger brush available. Oh yeah. Since moving, I've been able to like find all my art supplies and put them all in one area, so this will be helpful. I found this uh pretty much a calligraphy brush, I guess. It's not been taken great care of because it's been, under my care. But so it's lost a little bit of its shape, but that's fine. We're not going to be using it to do clean lines. We're going to do an all-over wash on this. So let's take some of this, put some water on it. Oh, see, there we go. Works pretty good. It's holding up its shape pretty well. We're going to put some mixed up with this purple here. Okay. I hope this works. Okay. Is that too light? Too dark? Okay. Let's kind of start over here and kind of test on a less visible area of the rock. Ooh, this was where not having a smooth rock. It's gonna have a different outcome. Oh man. All right, here we go. You can see the texture of the paint and of the rock a little bit more. What are you doing now? Yep, this is a washover. I'm kind of experimenting with stuff I actually found out with while painting Liz's painting, actually, where I had the metallic color underneath, and then I painted that color over it because I didn't like it, and I really liked the effect. So maybe I'm just gonna need to do that either on something with less texture, or something different. But I kind of like this. I just don't. Oh shit! Got some on my other rock. I don't think this is gonna work though because of the texture. So I'm just going in now to see if I can fix it by putting a wash on and creating that interesting dimension and still having that there. You know what? Yeah. I know you do, Mom. I know you do. All right. I do like the overall look. It's not a bad look. It's just not what I was going for, unfortunately. So maybe, let's see. Let's see. If you look in there, you can really see like some, I guess, bubbles. Nope, it's just the texture, the kind of grainy texture of the rock showing through that first one. Hey Jana, thank you for joining. Thank you. It's still kind of a work in progress, but aren't we all? Let's see. what do I want to do with this? What do I want to do with this? I think what I'm going to do. Oh, that would be my painting. Oh, your painting. Oh, that's true. It's downstairs now. That's funny. All right. So I think what I'm going to do, I'm going to add some effects to this using this stamper. Let's see. I'll use some pink and a little bit of this washed out purple color. Okay. I'm going to be repainting over this Believe. I'm just experimenting right now. How do you feel about the dark color in the middle of the B and the first of the E? I like it because it contrasts. You can actually see the word Believe a little bit more. But since it's not uniform across, like throughout, I don't know if that's something I want to go for, like, commit to. And now it's just all starting to blend together. Oh well. There you go. What kind of stamper is that? This is for nail art. So like imagine, if you will, there's a metal slate. Like imagine this is a metal slate, and in it is an indentation of what the design you want on your nail. So you put nail polish in it, and you swipe it so that, sorry camera, and then you swipe it so that the only paint that's left on the stamp, like on this like slate, is in your design, right? So it's in those indentations. And then what you do is you take the stamper, you press it on that design, and the stamper will lift it from the indentations. It'll be on your stamper, and then you can take that and you can put it on your nail, and you can see, because it's clear, you can see where you're putting it on your nail. That's what this is from. And I quite like it because then I can see like where am I putting it on this rock, right? Okay. Oh, what time is it? 7 o'clock? Oh, it's time. No wonder I'm tired. This is the time I should be logging off. So pretty much that's what we got. I'm gonna, let's see, I think just for you guys, because I like you so much, I'm gonna finish painting Believe, and then I'm gonna call it a day. All right, using the same techniques as before. And since I have an outline, I don't need to be super precise in how I do each letter. I can just focus on filling out what was already there to begin with. Ta-da. Oh, sorry. Here. Show the butterfly up close. All right. That's a good idea. I'll do that after I finish painting. Because, like, you guys haven't been able to see the butterfly up close. There we go. This V took a turn. Oh well. There we go. Believe. Ta-da. All right. And then when I'm done, I'm probably going to paint on the back like keep or rehide Awkward Audrey. And then I'm probably going to put this one out back in the yard. And here's the butterfly one. I'll do a shadow here later. Here you go. Ta-da! All right, that's it for today. I'm done. I'm gonna go have some food now. Dinner needs to happen. I'm hungry. But thank you all for joining me and for being here while I painted Believe. Oh, backwards. It's backwards. And the butterfly. Thank you all for being here and supporting me while I get back on track with the Awkward Audrey Art Hours. If you have any ideas or comments or questions, please let me know below, and then I'll see you the next time I have an art hour. All right, bye.